Hello and welcome to the NAVSCAR Pro Series round number 4, racing tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway for the Voice Attack 250. Tonight I'm joined in the booth with my good friend Dustin Phillips. How's it going, Dustin?
Going pretty good, Mike. It's kind of exciting to be here in Texas. It's going to be a fun race. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, big change from Martinsville, and looking forward to see what these guys do here on the track. Jamie Christensen is out of the race this week. He won't be broadcasting. He's got some stuff he's got to get done, but hopefully we see him back next week.
Yeah, definitely going to miss Jamie. He's definitely got a lot of good input into these things, and it's definitely miss a little piece of the action when he's not here.
Yeah, I agree, and you know what? He'll be back just in time for Bristol, so I'm sure that'll be a fun race to call.
No doubt about it.
Looks like guys are on the track doing qualifying. We got about 8 minutes of qualifying left. Let's join the action here.
Yeah, Mike, we're going to see some pretty quick times as we see Sean Butler on the pole at the moment at a 27.987, and that's pretty smoking around here right now. So he's it's almost matched what he did in practice, and it's going to be a good lap by him. I think he's going to be done, but we'll have to see if anybody else can put anything even close to it. That's a pretty good lap.
Yeah, one lap. He got his flyer out there real quick, and he turned 2 lap, 1 warm-up lap, and looks like he's parked it. A bunch of guys are rolling out on the track. Looks like David Howard Jr. put down a couple laps too, and then he decided to park it as well. He's got a 28.074. But I think you're right, man. With Sean breaking that 27, I think he's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, he was definitely the only one to do it here in practice. The old Calvin Allison didn't put down a lap. Well, he did, but very late in practice. And depending on what he's got here, he's another one. A couple of these other guys can break that 27 too. It's just Sean's hard to beat, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, but he may be the only one to break 27 seconds here tonight.
Ricky Goodman's working on his second lap right now at speed, currently 11th place with a 28.941, but we'll see what he does here as he crosses for his second lap. Let's see if he can improve on his time. Drop down to 12th place as he crosses finish. That last lap looks like 29.3, so he wasn't able to improve on that lap. He'll probably keep rolling and see if he can maybe get a better lap, but it's tough. I think these cars tighten up pretty quickly, so on these tires, you might not get more than 1 or 2 quick laps.
Yeah, it's definitely a change over the last couple of weeks. These cars have been pretty free for these guys, but I heard a lot of them talking in practice about how the car gets so tight over a run. So that's definitely going to be something to keep an eye on. It's going to be better for some guys that can manage it well, and it's going to hurt others. So we'll just have to see how everybody handles it out there tonight, and it's definitely going to be a fun, tight racing here.
Yeah, I think you kind of mentioned on an interesting point that the cars start off really loose, but once you get the air in the tires and the heat in the tires, and after about 10 laps, they just start tightening up. So these guys got to be ready to prepare for all scenarios on the track here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And compared so far, I mean, we still got quite a few guys to go, but as I'm looking at qualifying right now, David Howard's pretty square on to where he was in qualifying, but we got a couple of fast guys that hadn't gone yet, so we're going to see if maybe somebody can jump up there and sneak into the 27 second range with old Butler and give him a run for his money. But right now, that's still the top lap here.
Well, about halfway through qualifying, let's go ahead and look at the Battle of the Booth. Last week, man, you were able to take home 40 points. That moved you up into second place. That tie with me and Jamie has now been broken. I'm leading with 213, and Jamie's down to 186. It's really close, man. We're all within like 30 points. It's still anyone's game halfway through the season.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a big swing last week. Had some guys had some tough trouble. Talk about the 917 and David Howard. We see him here tonight. He had a fast car last week, got caught up in some stuff, but this week, Texas is one of these places he really, really likes. and definitely going to see him do a good job here tonight. So I'm kind of excited to see how his race goes, as well as several others.
Well, I was able to talk to Jamie before we started up here, and he let me know he's picking the 15 of John Fershing Jr. And I also let John know that was the case, and he wasn't too happy about that pick. So we'll see how it plays out for both those guys tonight.
Yeah, John's going to be real fast here tonight. If he can stay out of trouble, and he usually runs a pretty smart race, so it's probably going to be. If anything happens to him tonight, it's definitely going to be he's going to be caught up in something. He definitely drives a smart race each and every week, and looking forward to seeing how he can come out here and finish right now as he's in the 5th spot.
Yeah, 5th place right now is looking good. He's just got to make sure he breaks that old curse of the Jamie Christensen. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to go with the 917 of David Howard Jr. You spoke to earlier. He's quick. Currently sitting in 3rd position, and he does like this track, so I think it's a safe pit. So he's my choice tonight. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna go ahead and go with Sean Butler. He's been pretty decent to me this year. He had a tough race, our 2nd race out, but I'm gonna pick him for the 3rd and final time in this half of the season, and see if he can go ahead and bring it home for me here.
I think Sean's always a smart choice. He can win any race. Any race he's on the track, he can definitely take home. So I think tonight he's looking for some green flag runs. I think he's definitely going to be quick if the flags stay in his favor.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I heard a lot of guys talking about they'd really like to get some green flag runs. Last week being at Martinsville, having quite a bit of cautions. The guys really looking forward to seeing some long green flag runs. So as soon as we get these guys, settled in and they get out there and just race each other, man, this is going to be some fun racing. You're going to see some guys pass. I think there's going to be quite a bit of passing, and we'll have to see how the rest of it goes. Qualifying right now is tight, but not as tight as I thought. Maybe some guys missed it in qualifying, but excited to get the race started for sure.
Yeah, we've got about 2 minutes left right now. Sean's still out front. Jason Wells has put down a pretty quick time of the 28.059, but Sean is still the only car in the 27 mark. John Fershing Jr. in 3rd, Dan Vaglin in 4th, and Joshua Buckley rounding out the top 5. But we still got 5 or 6 cars on the track. We still also, I don't believe Calvin Allison did put down a lap, but not a quick one. It looks like he's looking to have some fun tonight starting in the rear.
Yeah, he's definitely made his presence here this year, going 3 for 1 out of for 4 races. So he's done a pretty good job. Probably had last week wrapped up as well, and had some tough luck there at the end. But excited to see all these guys, especially to see him charge up through the field. It's going to be fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I agree. As long as these guys can keep it on the track, keep it pointing in the right direction, I think we'll have a great race here tonight. Keith Haney right now is still on the track looking to improve his time. He hasn't really set down a fast lap here. As he crosses the start-finish line, looks like that lap did not count, so I don't know if he has some contact. I did not see a posted time. Yeah, he might have gotten a black flag coming out of the pits. You never know, but he did not post an official time on that lap. We got 14 seconds left. Looks like this session's going to come to an end. Top 5 should be pretty set here. Looks like Dan Vaglin was able to move up into 2nd, Jason Wells into 3rd, David Howard Jr. 4th, and John Fershing into 5th as the session winds down.
Mike, qualifying, it helps these guys definitely start up towards the front and as you put a quick lap down. But, there's quite a few guys I see here through the center half of this field that has had good speed here tonight. So we'll have to keep an eye on a couple of those guys and see if they can either stay out of trouble and work their way to the front. Definitely some guys all throughout this field that's got speed. So it's definitely going to be fun to see how their race goes and how they manage their stuff to be up at the end.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that I think this race is going to come down to who can be most consistent. I don't think that fast lap is going to mean much as we get down to it. So, oh,
Definitely a true statement.
all right, let's go ahead and run through the grid. Row number one, we got Sean Butler, Dan Veglin on the outside. Row number two, we've got Jason Wells, David Howard Jr. Row number three, we've got John Frisching and Joshua Buckley. Row number four, we've got Mark Bratcher and Nate LaFleur. Row number five, Nick Payne and Timothy Lewis on the outside. Row number six, we got the 983 of Jack Wells. You can see he's previously won a race and is locked in the chase. We got 86 James Skelton on the outside. Row number seven, we got Nelson Rivera and Jordan Beck. Row number eight, we got Raymond Edge and Mike Abbott. Row number nine, Chris Sharp and Tommy Amasi in 901. Row number 10, we got Daniel Haney and Jeff File. Row 11, Daniel Albright and Kevin O'Brien. Row 12, Ricky Goodman and James Haney on the outside. Row 13, Jonas Hankins and Scott Kidd. Row 14, Butch Frazier, Calvin Allison. You can see there he's got his 3 wins this season. Row 15, Bruce Potter and Brian Wynn in the 00. Row 16, Randy McCanney and Jeff Sharp. Row 17, Thomas Keene, Keith Haney. No times posted there, so again, I think they were probably given a black flag. They definitely tried to run a time there, but it just did not post. Looks like all the cars are just about gridding up. We're waiting on one more driver, it looks like. And there he is. Looks like these guys are going to roll off here. You like the inside line or the outside line at this track?
You know, starting definitely, I want to be on the bottom. It's very similar to Charlotte, and you definitely want to be on that bottom side. But I tell you what, as the guys move, you'll see guys move around and try to find grip all over it. So we'll definitely have to see how this goes. But I'm definitely going to want to start on the inside here.
Yeah, I agree with you. You just got to be real careful with keeping it down low. You can definitely upset the rear end of that car and end up spinning. So it's kind of a fine line, man. You want to be on the inside, but you don't want to be down on that white line. So we'll see how these guys do as they're going to come to the green flag for the first time here at Texas for the Voice Attack 250.
Yeah, we see some aggressive moves by the 2. Already dropped to the bottom. He's definitely, like you said, want to be on the bottom. Coming off 2 is going to be trouble for some of these guys here tonight, especially as the car is starting to tighten up. It's definitely that wall jumps out at you real quick.
Yeah, I agree. I think these guys got to really learn about how the car handles, at the beginning of the run and where it's going to be at the end of the run. And I think the guys that, know how to change their line during a run, those are the guys that are going to have the most success here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. As on the start, we see a perfect example. The 15 of John Frisching Jr. started third, and he's already making his move there on the back bumper of the 964, Jason Wells. I mean, definitely looking not so much, as we already got a caution here.
Let's see if you can figure out what happened there.
Definitely looks like Jonas Hankins got some damage on the front end of that car. Don't know what caused it, but we'll have to take a look at the replay.
Yeah, it looks like you got it. Single car incident. Jonas Hankins just gets Lutz coming off of turn 2 there and puts it in the inside retaining wall. And gonna see a bit of front end damage there. He'd be lucky if he didn't have any engine damage. So he might be using a quick repair real early on here.
Yeah, just a little update on Calvin Allison. Tough qualifying effort. Moved up 5 spots so far, just in that quick little run. So going to be fun watching him come to the front. I almost forgot that he was starting back there, but we see a couple of them dive down pit road here to get some service.
Yeah, I think tires are going to be a lot here. We're on lap number 4, and guys are already coming down. I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight, especially if we have a bunch of cautions. I think guys are going to come down, get those tires.
Yeah, for sure, and definitely if you're in the back half of the field, you're not hurting anything. Track position is going to be one thing, but I definitely think I want to be have a good set of good years underneath me throughout this race. So, like you said, definitely going to come down as much as I can. Some of these guys are going to stretch it, and they practice all week, so they know what they can do. And we'll definitely have to see the different strategies played out here tonight for sure.
Well, it looks like first car to come down was the 23 of Timothy Lewis. He's 23rd, so top 20 are on old tires. These back half are going to have new tires, so we'll see the difference there as these guys get up to speed. Let's go ahead and use this opportunity to give a shout out to our sponsor. This race is sponsored by Voice Attack. Anybody who's into iRacing and has spent some time in a sim, you know that there's a bunch of things you got to be aware of, and also a lot of controls that you have to manage. Pit stops, chat communications, a whole bunch of different things. Most guys have a button box, and Voice Attack kind of takes that button box and puts it on your microphone. It's a really great product. You can basically just call commands out, 2 tires, and it'll set up everything you've got or everything you want for your pit stop. 2 tires and gas, 4 tires and gas, left sides only. However you set it up, you can have it manage everything via voice commands. Great little product. Check them out, www.voiceattack.com. You can go to their website, get a 21-day limited trial. Check it out. Give it a shot. It's like probably the most important thing that I use when I'm on the track.
Yeah, they're definitely got an awesome program going on there, and I know it's just like you're having a virtual crew chief. You can call down there and tell them what you need or what the car needs, and I tell you what, it's definitely helps a lot of these guys out from hitting 12 buttons trying to figure out how to change 4 tires. So definitely glad to have them on, and looking forward to a few more races they're doing for us this year too as well.
Yeah, they got 3 races total this year, and I'm glad to have them on board. And I definitely think it adds that little bit more realism. I even have mine, programmed to talk back. So if I say, 2 tires or whatnot, my pit crew will come back and talk to me and say, "We've got you set up. Come on in." It's kind of fun that way. It looks like we're going back to green here.
That's a really good start by everybody here. It seems like everybody kind of got it going. We'll see the 964 kind of stack the top up just a little bit. 2 of Josh Buckley's really looking aggressive here early. He felt good about his car, so we'll have to see if he can have a complete race here tonight.
Yeah, cars are, juking and jiving down on the backstretch, trying to keep that car in line. Oh, we got a car sideways. Oh, and that's going to put him up on the wall there, right at the front.
That's going to be a tough break. Definitely Mark Bratcher, the 946, got out of shape and collected 917, and they went across the bumper of the 2. I don't know how many more they collected there, Mike.
Yeah, that just happened in the worst possible place. The whole field is going to have to run through that. Let's take a look and see at the replay. Yeah, there was, that's a weird one. The 946 definitely got loose. It looked like, watching it from the top end, the 15 comes down, they both come down. There's no contact. It doesn't even look like they're close, but the 917th just can't get it checked up enough as that 946 is literally drifting around the corner, and we get a bunch of cars just collected in that. You know, that this could be the theme for tonight's race: cars getting loose off the restarts, and you know we talked about it early in the races, or in the drivers meeting. You just got to manage your stuff. You got to race your own race. If concentrate on keeping your car in line. Don't worry about being fast. You got to worry about being consistent, and that's a tough one to see by everyone for sure.
Yeah, developing. Looks like the top two stayed out, and third on back came along with a few that maybe stayed out, but definitely gonna. Looks like there's a little bit of damage on the 964. They're gonna come down pit road and try to get some of that damage fixed. Um, I know the two. He was right there, right in the mix of it, so he might have a little bit of damage as well. So a lot of guys getting collected in that one. It's a tough break.
Looks like Calvin Allison was collected in that incident, and I just got an interesting little picture from him. It says he's out of quick repairs, so I don't know if that first time came down and or whatnot, or if he just didn't have one. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a tough break for him. He can manage his stuff well, but I tell you what, it's definitely good to have that quick repair. As long as these races are to have it and be able to handle it. As you go, because you never can tell. You can do one thing with a race car, but you can't account for the other 33 drivers out there tonight. That's for sure.
And that actually just kind of shows the importance of putting down a fast lap and making sure you're up front. But mind you, that happened at fourth place, so you could be caught up anywhere, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be a little interesting. It looks like I want to say at least the top nine, if not top 10, other than Pershing, they all stayed out. So we'll see maybe 11th on back, come down pit road, get service. So we have some guys with some fresh tires and some guys with not. So as we go back green here. 81 and Nate LaFleur is slow on the top.
Yeah, I don't know if he spun his tires. He only pit the once, so he might be on some older tires there.
If we can get us a green flag, we're definitely going to see what these guys can do. See if Nelson Rivera can stay up on the back bumper of the Sean Butler and definitely give him a run for his money. But here we go with another caution. Like Scott Kidd is at a tow there. I don't know if it was a single car accident or not.
Actually, looks like there was a bunch of cars involved there. 555 of Butch Frazier might have been the start of that one. Let's take a look again.
That's one of those guys that stayed out on those tires. I know we're here only at lap 11, but get guys with around that mixed area of having tires and not having tires, and it just causes trouble sometimes.
Yeah, it looked like he had some help there from the 04. of Jordan Beck just got into that rear quarter panel. It doesn't take much to turn a car around here. You got to be real careful of that. Give everyone a ton of room. But yeah, looks like that going into driving into the turn one. Oh, Butch, yeah, maybe he didn't even see him. That was a tough one. Looks like Butch came down on entry and just a combination there.
Yeah, for sure. The spotter might have told him clear and wasn't clear. So tough break for these guys involved here. We'll get us rolling here shortly. Hopefully, he can get that car down pit road and get him some get boys working on it and get him back out there. I do want to give a shout out while we're here under caution. We noticed that DJ Anderson, DPM's own, is not here tonight. He's on his honeymoon. He just got married this past weekend, so congratulations to him and his new wife. And he's actually he's not here racing, but he's actually spotting for the 2 here tonight. So congratulations to him and his wife, and just glad to have him here at NAVSCAR, and looking forward to having him back next week.
100% agree with you.
Do we have any more weddings that we need to talk about? That's the one I know about, but I like to give those shout outs. At least these guys get married. I've been married a little while now, and tell you what, it's always fun when it's new. So
yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to take that, but yeah, I agree. I've been married for over 10 years myself, and it's a new experience every day. A great experience every day. My wife's sitting right beside me, so I have to make sure she.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to take away from that. It's definitely a great experience. It's just, I'm sure DJ's excited and they're having a good time. So it's a good time when you're first married. You get to do the honeymoon thing, and just excited for him to enjoy his week he's got, and we'll see him next week. Looks like the lights are off on the pace car. We'll be going green here this next time. Get the field tightened up here. We've got quite a few cars on pit road here. This is going to be kind of interesting if these guys can get rolling here.
Yeah, I guess I don't know why you come down with one to go, but I guess a lot of people are trying to get some stuff fixed.
Hey, one of our biggest movers here right now is Thomas Keenan at 9:29. He's didn't get to put a lap down. Maybe had some contact. Started 30-30. He's up to 10th now. So, we'll have to see if he can keep that car straight and continue to march his way to the front.
Well, we're lap 15. Hopefully these guys can, turn a couple green flag laps here. Good start up front. Sean Butler is able to use that clean air to put up, about a half a second head start over, under one lap. These guys are still fighting 2nd through 6th side by side here.
Yeah, definitely a good battle from second on back, 2 by 2. Um, Definitely thought the 14 Tim Lewis was going to get up there and really charge on his teammate there. He'll get settled in here, and these guys are starting to march forward. But Sean's really putting on a pace now tonight.
Yeah, I think if you're, second through fourth right now, I think you want to get in line. As long as you can see Sean, I think you're in a good position. These guys definitely want to click some laps off here. Not going to be racing too hard as you can get them. You can see them getting in line. Riding on board right now with the 24 Chris Sharp. You can see that line. He's kind of mid-entry and drifted down, trying to hold it down, and that car is going to come back up into the wall. You'll see in about 4 or 5 laps, it's going to come back up to the wall a lot more aggressively as he's entering this one a lot higher than turn 1 and 2 and is trying to come down. You can see the 15 is going to use that opportunity to get underneath him.
Yeah, it's just you were speaking, the 968 was up in about the 6th position and got loose going into 1 and definitely going to lose a lot of position. He's already fell back to 16th and continues to lose them as we come off turn 2 here.
He just got loose and kept it off the wall, did recover it.
Yeah, did a good job recovering. He got down below the white line in 1 and almost collected a couple guys. Did a good job, everybody avoiding him, but definitely got a little bit of work to do as he fell back to the 16th spot. Just right before we went green, we were talking about the 929 of Thomas Keene, and started 33rd. He has just made the pass for 4th. He's gained 6 positions in the last 3 laps. So good job by 929. That car's really rolling right now.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's comfortable out there. He's clipping them off. 1 by 1. He's got the 14th in his sights right now, or 14, I should say, in his sights right now. That last lap, he ran a 28.4. The leader ran a 28.4. Top 4 cars are all, running almost identical laps.
Yeah, for sure. That 929, they've got that car rolling here tonight. He's closing in on the 14. Really done a good job. He was pretty quick in practice. Just they got a little trouble in qualifying. The reason he started back so far, but definitely doing a good job right now as he looks under the 14 coming off too.
Yeah, you can see he, thinks twice about just sliding up off the exit, keeps it down, and then 14 was able, I think, to let him in. Probably the smart move to do, as it's kind of, obvious that the 929 right now is really quick. John Furshing Jr. is looking on the inside underneath the 14 as well. Gonna make that pass look easy.
As Butler stretched his lead to just over a second now. He's definitely setting the pace pretty good here. But I like the way Nelson looks here tonight. He looks focused. He wants a good finish here. And I was talking to these guys. Wow, definitely hadn't had the finishes that I've expected out of them. I know this season had some fast cars, but they're looking to get him a win, and definitely right now Pershing and Nelson really got it going on. So we'll have to see if those cars can stay up front all night.
Some good racing going on right now, 10th through 14th. These cars are all for position right here on the track. Jonas Hankins leading that pack in the 13th car. You can see in the 13th car, you can see these guys are looking to get around him here. As we talk about that, Joshua Buckley makes a pass on the 14 there. Right now, the number 2 car is leading DPM, Team DPM, is he not?
Yeah, he's. They were looking forward to this race tonight. They definitely want to get the monkey off the back and see if they can pick him up a win. Got a little ways to go, but definitely good to see him up in the top 5 here tonight, and James just a little bit further back.
Yeah, James is on the move as well, looking underneath the 24 of Chris Sharp, I believe. 82
I tell you,
is going to follow him underneath there. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, we've had the dominant cars here so far this season, in Butler and Allison and just a few others. But I tell you what, we got a lot of these guys that got a lot of good speed, and as we saw in Martinsville last week, looked like Calvin Allison was going to cruise to the finish and pick him up his 4th win in a row. But right there, because of short track racing, had a guy ended up winning that didn't actually think not so much that he was going to win, but didn't think he was going to catch Allison or have anything for him, and we had that late race caution. So anything can happen here tonight. You got anybody in this field that can come up here and be here at the end, and never know, have a late race caution and
I agree.
take this thing away from Butler.
I agree, Sean. He's right now. He's out front. He's that gap has shrunk a little bit. It's now hovering around a second, but it changes pretty almost every lap. So I think the top 4, top 5 cars right now are all pretty consistent time wise. That last lap, Nelson Rivera actually beat Sean Butler by a full 1/10 of a second there. So these guys are flopping the fastest lap every couple laps, as the 929 is going to start putting some pressure on Nelson, and that might let Sean pull away a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, as we see, Thomas, he took the spot away. Yep, took the spot away from Nelson, and he's going to set his sights on Butler. That car's really fast over this run, and he continues to put down pretty quick laps. That last lap was a 28.480 with Nelson running a 37. So those two guys right now are putting down pretty quick laps. Thomas Keene, that was his last lap was a half a second faster than our leader. So that's pretty quick.
Did see a smoking car there on the inside. Not sure who that was, but someone's having some engine problems, looks like. Right now, James Skelton is fighting pretty hard right now for position with the 82 of Mike Abbott in 7th place. The 2 car of Joshua Buckley was just able to make the pass on the 7 of Nelson Rivera for 3rd place. That's the highest Josh has been here tonight. He's on the charge. Looks like Nelson's not going to go down without a fight as he's trying to make something work on the inside, but does get on that apron. You got to be really careful. Touching that apron can really upset that car. That's going to allow John to get in there.
Yep, John looks to poke the nose here, getting in the 1 off of 2. His teammates, he's probably going to let him go there.
I think now is about the time where we're going to see these tires really start to fall off, and I know we got about 20 laps, I think, under these tires, and this is about when things are going to start changing. Cars that have been able to handle their stuff, maybe not put too much wheel into it, and save that right front tire. I think these guys are going to start getting quick compared to other people on the track.
Yeah, for sure. 929's inching further and further, getting closer and closer to 919 of Butler. But I was riding along with Butler there on the end car, and these guys are definitely out of the throttle right now. So guys are just being consistent, putting laps down, and that's the fast way around here. And tell you what, it's going to be exciting to see if we do get some long green runs, because it's going to be it's a tough place to get on pit road here, so it's going to be exciting to see how pit road goes and how guys can get on and off, and it's going to be a determining factor on long green runs for sure.
Great battle going on right now between the 7th, the 82, and the 14. 14, Timothy Lewis looks quick. Actually, 82 looks quick as well, just trying to figure out how to get around the two-car wall in front of him. I think we're going to start seeing cars tap that wall on the exit of 2. Possibly the exit of 4 as well.
Yeah, for sure, especially when these guys are battling. You know, Mike, you definitely want to get up on the wheel and try to get everything out of your car, and then before you know it, you find yourself eating concrete. So you definitely got to find that balance and be able to race around the cars around you as well as not, you know, get a little over your head there. Looks like Butler's stretched it to 1.6 now over second place Thomas King. He's definitely starting to pull back away from him. Butler's real smooth, and it's definitely this kind of track pays off for his driving style, just being able to hit your marks each and every lap, and he's definitely one of the most consistent guys we have here.
Yeah, I agree. I think he gained most of that time during that original pass between those cars in second and third place. But he's, you're right, he's steadily pulling up. He was just a little bit quicker by a couple hundredths of a second that last lap in second place Thomas Keane, but again, anything can change when these guys come in to take their pit. Right now we're looking back on 9th place. Great fight going on between James Skelton, Jason Wells, and Jordan Beck here for position. Pretty good group of cars.
Yeah, I got to mention the Calvin Allison, starting 28th. He's gained 20 positions. He's up to the 8th spot. Got caught up in that earlier incident, but definitely looking to jump here on the 7 as they go into 3. It's definitely been fun. I hadn't talked much about him tonight, but he's definitely hungry. He's been pretty good and consistent this year. So definitely look to see him if he can keep that car underneath him. Definitely be here to fight Butler here at the end, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see that car as clean as it is. I was under the impression he didn't have that quick repair, so he's definitely made up some cars, and he is by far the fastest car on the track right now.
Also, a good job by the 82 and Mike Abbott here tonight. He started 16th, and he's up 11 spots to 5th. Going to look like he's going to try to reel in the 15 of John Fershing Jr. He's done a really good job here. Mike Abbott has really done really well over the years at the mile and a half, and it's good to see him here having a good start to the race, and we'll see if he can continue in that team, get him some good fast pit stops and keep him up front all night. As we spoke, didn't get to check, but it looks like the 2 of Josh Buckley's picked up that second spot, got around the 929 of Thomas King. Those tires are really starting to fall off for a 929, it looks like.
Yeah, I think you're right on the nose with that call. I think cars are going to start slowing down pretty substantially here. We're already running, in the 30 seconds, where the qualifying lap was in the 27 seconds, so we're 3 seconds off that pace. As the Sean Butler is now dealing with lap traffic, he's got the 4 of Ricky Goodman ahead of him. He's going to have to get around him here soon, unless they're going to think about pitting. Lap 46 of 167. Still lots of racing to go.
Yeah, for sure. And, over the last couple laps, Buckley has picked up 0.2 a lap the last 2 laps, and it just come over the radio, the 919's pitting this time, so lap 47. He's one that stayed out there the longest on his tires, so we'll have to see what happens here.
And see if anybody follows him in. It looks like we do have a couple of takers. John Furshing Jr. comes in. A lot of that quick cars. It's kind of forcing people to come in here. When you come and get tires, these guys are going to be so much quicker that you can't really afford to stay out much longer, or these guys are going to really start gapping you here.
Yeah, I think the reason we're seeing the 2 and the 28 pretty quick is these guys stopped a little earlier, or a little later in that run, about lap 11, I think it was. So, just keep an eye on them as we see Buckley come down pit road. Mike Abbott's going to pick up the lead as he's got Calvin Allison breathing down his neck. Definitely good job, and I got to give a shout out to 04 Jordan Beck. He's sitting back there in third, got to cycle through these pit stops, but good to see him running up front as we cycle back through here.
Right now, Mike Abbott is still turning some laps, as well as Calvin Allison. I bet these guys come down together. They probably communicate with each other, so we'll see what happens here. But they're 1-2 right now on the track.
Hey, guys are going to start the pit, no doubt, because Sean Butler's back on the track, and he's going to start picking these guys off pretty quick. So
these guys are going to do another lap. Just to compare here, their previous lap, 30 seconds, 30.67. Sean Butler ran a 28.5, so these guys really got to consider coming in quick here. Right now, Sean's running a full second and a half quicker. And, unless these guys come in, as Sean's trying to get around them.
yeah, this is probably one time that Calvin Allison would have liked to caution probably a little bit to kind of help him get back up there towards the front after having to come so far. So, he'll probably lead him a couple laps here and see what he can do. But I tell you what, it's going to be tough with that Butler. He's pretty quick here tonight, so these guys are definitely going to have to start, strategy kind of closer to what he's doing if they're going to keep the pace.
Yeah, Sean right now is leading the next position car by about 8 seconds. So, but they are coming in now in front of him. I just really, it's good to be on a second strategy or a different strategy. Sometimes you can make things work, but unless you can think this is going to become a fuel mileage race, you really got to come and get tires here soon.
Butler did a good job there. He's got 3 seconds right now, almost 3.5 seconds on Buckley when they cycle back through here once everybody pits. He's definitely got on and off pit road really good. So that's what I think is going to be the key on these long runs. The longer these guys stay out and try to do what they're doing, it's just going to kill the momentum of everybody else here when Butler and Buckley are as fast as they are here tonight.
See, the fourth place of the 291 of Randy McKenney is... oh no, we got a car spinning.
That's going to be a big break for a couple of guys, to be honest with you. They're going to be able to come in and get tires and be ahead of some of these guys that are a lap down. So it's going to be kind of a good call there by some of these guys that stayed out. Everything cycled back through. It's a lot easier to pit under caution than it is under green. So, Mike, if we just cycled through, you've pitted about say 7, 8, 9, 10 laps ago, however it was when Butler and those couple of guys pitted. We have this caution, and we're going to reset the field here. Do you come down with only 12 cars on the lead lap? You're going to get a lucky dog here, unless you got a couple of guys stay out. You coming down pit road to top off on fuel and maybe get you some 4 fresh Goodyears and kind of change things up. What's your take on that?
I think I take every opportunity I can to come down and get tires. I don't care if I just pit. I think I'm coming down again.
That's a good point. I'm definitely, if I'm in Sean Butler's spot, I'm about fast anywhere I am. Uh, you know, so I can do about what I want. He probably might decide to stay out, but like I said, I'm with you. I'd probably have to get tires just about any chance I could.
I'm not sure what's going on here with the field being held up by a car.
Looks like the 82 of Mike Abbott may be out of fuel. 72 looked to be pushing him down pit road. Um, Maybe I'm wrong, but he definitely put the bumper to him to kind of get him down pit road, so I'm not really sure. As you're right, those guys that had pitted just not too long ago came down and pit again, so you're right, Mike. I think the smart call here tonight is any chance you get to come down and get some 4 fresh Goodyears and top yourself off on fuel.
Yeah, really, nothing to harm there. He's coming out in fifth with 4 fresh tires. Calvin Allison did come in and pit. Same with John Fershing Jr., I believe. So, or John is in the pits now. And somehow, after running out of gas, Mike is going to come back in second place. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, it looked like there was some confusion there, either with him running out or if that was the case. It really hurt those guys that had pitted early because it basically, what would have cycled them back around in front of them, actually put them right back behind them. So, they're not too far off, but definitely kind of a weird change of events there. Good break for the 28 and the 82 for sure. So we got fresh Goodyears up front. Mike, what do you think? It's going to be a little excitement here. You got the 28 and the 919 bumper to bumper here as we get ready to take this green flag.
Yeah, this is going to be some of the hardest racing we've seen all night with this top 5 here.
Yeah, and look, give a big shout out to Raymond Edge in the 72. Started 15th. Was able to stay out there under that green flag run, get the caution, come down pit road, get him some tires, and he's sitting right there in fourth spot, sitting in a good position. We'll see how he can capitalize on his track position here and keep it up front. Ford Mustang pulls off. Green flag out.
'72 looks like he did not get a good start there. He's back into 5th place as these guys are going to jump underneath him here.
As Butler's already looking underneath the 28 off of 2. Butler's really not playing around tonight. He's definitely putting the pace down, and 929 follows him right by the 28. I don't know if 28's got a little bit of trouble or not, but 14's catching him as well.
Yeah, he definitely looks a little off the pace this time around. I don't know if there is damage to his car. I don't see anything major, but guys are passing him pretty easily here, and that's definitely not common.
Definitely something to keep an eye on, as he's definitely riding that high line, and cars just continue to cycle around him. So don't know if he's conserving at this point or not. Not really sure, but definitely uncharacteristic of Calvin Allison for sure. Got another caution. Like Brian Wynn's on the bottom in the 4. Don't see much damage. Got some damage on the 949.
Yeah, looking at the replay, 968 of Nick Payne gets loose and tries to save it, but comes back up onto the track in front of the 555 of Butch Frazier, and that's all that one. There, looks like they collected the 59 as well.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for the 59 of Potter, man. That car definitely looked promising here early and just had nothing but getting caught up in everybody else's mess. So tough break for him. It might be his night may be almost over here. See if they can work on that car a little bit, but tough break for 59 for sure.
All right, pit road is a party as all these guys come down to get tires once again.
Yeah, we got a couple that stayed out, so
yeah, looks like the 929 of Thomas Keane, 14 of Timothy Lewis stayed out. Everybody else did come on in or is a lap down. That's why they're still on the track.
Gonna kind of be an interesting call, like you said. You want to take all the advantages you can, and I'm sure the 929 wanted to lead a lap, so I'll give by him. He may be bringing that car down pit road here shortly, but yeah, looking at it, if those guys do come down pit road, I was looking here. David Howard Jr.'s 3 laps down. He may get one of these back as a lucky dog. Not really sure. I tell you what, David Howard, he really likes this place. 3 laps down sounds like a lot, but I've seen him come back from worse. So we'll keep an eye on him as the race goes on, and if he can keep that thing underneath him, he'll definitely have a chance here at the end.
Yeah, his car's still looking in good shape there. So, you know, being my pick, I'm rooting for him. Hopefully he can get himself on the lead lap and be fighting here as we get down to it.
That's one guy that has no defeat in his eyes. No matter how bad it gets, he pretty much fights to the end. So definitely good to have those kind of guys in here, and kind of excited to see you know, what he can do over this these next how many laps we got left here. Looks like we got 101 laps to go. 100 laps to go as we come to the flag this time, but definitely a lot of laps left, and chances for these guys to, you know, take advantage and see if they can have a little bit of luck on their side and get back up on the lead lap.
Alright, looks like the light is off.
So you got the 929 and the 14 of Timothy Lewis and Thomas King here on the front row. Did not elect to pit that time. Got a lot of fast guys back behind them with 4 fresh ones. So it's going to be exciting to see what these guys can do on this restart and how much that clean air for the 929 might be to stay out ahead of that 919.
Yeah, I don't think the 919 is going to wait too long here. I think he's going to get under these guys real quick, knowing that he's got fresh tires. And I think the question is going to be how many of these guys follow him through.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that, Mike. It's going to be an exciting restart here.
Green flag.
The 14 had I don't know if he missed a gear, just started late, but it kind of recovered there. Good job by the 14.
Yeah, it looks like that hurt the 15. Had to check up there and lost a bunch of positions because of it. Calvin Allison is now on the move with the 2-car of Joshua Buckley, but Calvin is again taking that high line. I'm not sure if he's doing that on purpose or he just likes it up there, but he looks a lot quicker as we get up to speed here than the last run.
Yeah, he definitely cracked the top 5 there. You know, he may be experimenting with a few things, but, you know, look back up front, Thomas Keene, I told you that clean air. Right now, 919's breathing down his neck, but right now he's being able to hold him off, even with those couple of older lap tires. So we'll see if he can continue to hold the 919 off, or if anybody else can make a challenge at him.
Two-car right now is looking on the inside of the 14 of Timothy Lewis.
The 2 got a little loose there getting into 3 as he's going to wash up, and 14 and the 15 looking low.
Yeah, I definitely got loose coming off that corner, but I think it's, you know, better to get loose and check up a little bit and save the car than get loose and spin out.
Yeah, for sure. Right now up front, Thomas Keene's impressing me a little bit. He's the only one that's been able to mount any kind of challenge to Butler tonight. So, you know, right now that clean air is really paying off for him and that Monster Energy Toyota.
Yeah, how much do you think of that? Is Sean just happy, you know, keeping him in his sight, or do you think Sean is going to just, you know, if he could get by him, he's going to get by him here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, Sean's a very calculated guy. He kind of knows what he's doing out there. So, you know, he's keeping him in his sights. You know, and again, the 929's been quick tonight, so clean air is helping him. But, you know, Sean knows that he's got a little bit better car and tires than him. He's just going to wait for either the 929 to make a mistake or just ride here for a little bit. And they've stretched themselves almost 2 seconds over third place of Josh Buckley. So it's not like they're just not going at it, taking it easy. These guys are racing pretty hard up front.
Yeah, I think it also shows that if these guys stay in line, they can gap the field, and maybe that's what they're trying to do, is put a little bit of space between them before they get fighting. Once Sean pulls out, I think you'll see them lose a little bit of time to that third place car of Joshua Buckley.
Caution on the speedway.
Did you find, you see what happened there?
Not really sure. You got a a lot of cars slowed down here, but I'm not really sure who is the culprit.
Looks like the 94 of Kevin O'Brien. You can see him here entering 2. All by himself here, so I think we're going to just see him, get loose and drive it on into that inside wall. And, oh, man, comes back up and, wow. Looks like everybody does avoid him, but that was a little hairy.
Yeah, turn 2's a tough spot there. Guys did a great job. He did a good job. Woo, really close there on a couple of those cars coming by, but a tough break for the 94 Kevin O'Brien. He's that's one of those tricky spots off of 2. You know, you're trying to get everything you can, and that car just snaps loose on you, and you're along for the ride after that.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be his night. Let's take a look and see if that car snaps back when he gets into his box. A lot of damage on that front of that car, so let's take a look here. Does he have a quick repair? It does. Look at that. That car bounces back, gets a new engine, gets back out on the track. So he lives to run another lap or 2.
That race off pit road was kind of interesting. It looks like 919 beat the 929 of Thomas King off pit road. Definitely a good job by the boys on the 919 as they were just a little bit quicker than the 929, and looks like they'll take over that lead. If not, Fershing I got out before all of them.
Yeah, looks like Fershing is the first guy that I've noticed all night. Took 2 tires, 8 seconds
He did.
stop.
Took 2 tires, and boys trying to do a little strategy, seeing how this works with 2 tires. You know, I hadn't seen many guys try that in practice, so we'll have to see if that he can take advantage. That may help the car. So
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It could definitely help that loose car at the start. It could tighten it up a little bit. It also might make that car tighten up a little bit quicker and more than he wants. But you know, we still got over half the race to go. You know, might as well experiment now and see how it does for later in the race.
yeah, and I think another thing for John, you know, he's been quick all night, trying 2 tires, seeing if he can get out. He did a great job. Now he's led him a lap. That's gonna be key for the points. You know, he's still looking for his first win on the season, but definitely, you know, strategy call there, and we'll have to see if that plays out. You never know, may get him another quick caution. If you don't like the car, you can come down and get him 4 fresh ones. So, good thing about being able to make choices like that here before we get too close to the end.
No, I agree 100%. And yeah, that bonus point definitely, you know, every point helps when you're looking at a year's standings. Let's take a look at our series as it stands right now. Looks like Sean Butler would be in first with 231 points. Jason Wells 220 points in second. Calvin Allison in third with 216 points. You can see top 3 guys also have wins, so those guys are locked in the chase. John Fershing Jr. would be up to 5th, actually tied for 4th with James Skelton as they run on the track right now. So good information there as we continue our first round of our full year season.
Yeah, definitely. You know, speaking of, you know, Keith Haney was a leader coming in to this race, and him being looks like 71 laps down now in 34th position is definitely going to take a big hit for him. So you can see how you can go from the lead to 7th in just one race. No deal. That's a tough break for him tonight. That car was out pretty early in that first caution. So he'll regroup. He'll be back next week at Bristol, and those guys will be ready to compete next week.
Still 28 cars on the track, you know, still running. We did have 34 cars start the race here, so no drive for 35 giveaway tonight, but winner of this race is going to take home a voice attack key. So we're looking forward to giving that away at the end of the race, as looks like the pace car is going to drop down, and we're going to go back to green.
Yep. Like 15 definitely starting up front. Got a little bit better start than he got last time from being back
Yeah,
they're behind.
100%.
We'll see if he can hold off Butler. It's going to be tough with 2 tires, but we'll have to see. As Butler's got a good run here off of 2.
Yeah, he's making him go around the outside, which is smart. Looks like the 15 is bobbling there a little bit, but keeps it steady, and looks like they're both going to get around him on the outside there.
Yeah, the 15 definitely had his hands full. I heard him come over the radio, and he was really fighting that thing off of turn 2. Did a good job keeping it off those guys. John's got a lot of talent, so it's good to see him with 2 tires be able to hold that thing off.
Looks like we have another yellow ticket, or yellow flag.
I don't know what maybe caused it, but we got the 24 slow on the bottom. Don't look like a lot of damage. Maybe
Looks like the floor of Ricky Goodman is got some damage. Let's take a look. I did see another car spinning in front of the 4 here, so I don't know if he got caught up in something else. Oh yeah, there's...
like Mark Bratcher in the 946 was involved in that as well.
Yeah, it looks like the 4 lost it because he was avoiding Mark Bratcher, and yeah, Mark gets real loose there again. He gets down on the apron, and the 81 gets down too, but Mark just can't collect it. He almost does, and that's going to turn him around. Let's take a look one more time.
Yeah, and also at the same time, as he was trying to save it, the 81 gave him that little bit of tap. Don't know how much damage is to the front of that car, but sent him careening into the outside of turn 2. And 94 of Kevin O'Brien also tapped the 946 as he was trying to get by him there. So maybe a little bit more damage to that car too as well.
Let's ride that one from inside the car and see what it's like to fight a loose car.
Yeah, that apron definitely helped the 946 there. It looked like he got loose getting in and then just hit the apron and was going after that.
Yeah, you can see it coming. Oh, this is the wrong corner. Let's take a look here on the next one. Yeah, he gets loose on entry just before as he gets off the gas, and it's actually the worst spot for that to happen, and that just carries it through the entire corner. Let's watch this one more time as he comes across the start-finish line and turns left into the corner. You'll see here. Listen to the throttle control. He knows it's happening. As we cross the start-finish line here, right there, just a little loose, gets off, but gets back on it, and that just that upsets it to enough where he can't save it. Gets it back on and almost saves it, and then it just hooks up right there, and yeah, and then she'd be done.
Yeah, I was looking. Looks like the top 8 drivers here so far tonight it led a lap, all except the 4th place driver James Skeleton. The only one that hadn't led a lap here in the top 8. So definitely getting several leaders here tonight. As I count, looks like, yep, only 8 drivers have led here tonight. James Skeleton's still looking to lead his lap. But tell you what, Sean Butler's led 52, and he's definitely on his way to lead quite a few more. So these boys better get up on the wheel if they're going to challenge him tonight for sure.
Well, that brings us to halfway. We're turning 83 of 167 laps, so this next time by, I'll be crossing that barrier. A lot less cars than we started with, but everyone, I think, knows the deal. And yeah, we've seen some pretty good racing. Other than the cars getting loose, I think these guys have been doing overall a pretty good job. But it just speaks once again to getting that track time. I think really the guys that are doing well here are the guys that come, to practice right when it goes up 2.5 hours before the race and join us on Tuesdays and even do some, practice on their own. Really, it's about knowing the handling of the car and feeling it and being able to tell when the car's going to get loose. That's going to set you apart from everybody else.
Yeah, you definitely got a point there. I mean, you can't just show up here and expect to compete, even on this level in the Pro Series. You just can't. You can't just show up and just hope for the best. I know my guys on DPM, they put in countless hours all week practicing every chance they get. So it's definitely something that you have to stay on top of, and you can't just go out there and try to get a fast lap. I mean, these races aren't won on 1 or 2 laps. You've got to be able to handle this thing over a long run and know how to manage your tires. So hats off to these guys for all the hard work they put in, and they definitely put on a good show.
All right, green flag is out.
Decent start. It looks like the 28's looking underneath. The 2 and the 15 gets really loose. Turn 2, and I think he's able to save it. Trouble with the 14 there, and guys getting it straightened out here, and 14 still trying to get it straightened out. He's turned and he's got damage. Low on the front stretch. No caution.
No cars coming, so caution won't come out on that one, but he did a great job keeping it out of harm's way there.
Now we get a caution.
We do have a caution.
And I just unfortunately want to make an announcement that it looks like the 917 of David Howard Jr. has taken that car to the garage. Night is over.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It looks like you might be challenging for the Battle of the Booth next week.
Well, I needed some help. Unfortunately, won't be here next week at Bristol. But as we're speaking of Bristol next week, Mike, I think our sponsor for next week is who?
Let me double check here. Looks
I think
like
it's
the UMZ F250.
Yep, presented by DPM, and really excited to be being a part of that with everything that. That organization has going, and Josh Buckley, he's definitely passionate about all that stuff, and excited. Bristol's going to be a fun race for these guys. Hate I can't be there next week, but it's definitely going to be an exciting one. Another short track, but those guys really like to get down and dirty there at Bristol.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit different than it was over at Martinsville, and different beast, and I love watching the race in there. It's you won't be here to call the race, but hopefully you can tune in and see all the action.
Yes, it's definitely looking forward to seeing how that one turns out. Got a lot of racing action here before we get there next week. Got 21 cars on the lead lap, and quite a few guys that are off that might get the wave round, it looks like here. So going to be exciting to see how this race in the later half of this is going to turn out. I was thinking Calvin Allison might have taken 2 tires, but that pit crew of them hooligan boys, a blistering 13-second stop, 4 tires. He came in 17th, and looks like he's going to be coming out in about 3rd or 4th position. Definitely an awesome job by that team. Quick stop.
I see him in 7th, but still a great 6th.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys getting a wave around here, so we'll see how it cycles back through. It looks like he's going to be maybe 4th after all these lap cars get rolled around here. Looks like Thomas Keene to take over.
Yeah, right now I got Jeff File and Ricky Goodman first and second.
Yeah, those guys, I think they're going to wait for the waiver round. Definitely got a lot of damage. I hope they don't stay out without getting a waiver round.
Well, they're leading, so they won't get a wave
Oh,
round.
that's going to be kind of interesting if these guys stay out.
Yeah, that 4 car is not looking good. I'm sure he's going to come in here.
You're right. I guess I didn't see, but these guys are actually on the lead lap, and I wonder if they're showing on the lead lap because they're waiting for the waiver round because they're in front of the leaders.
No, they shouldn't. It should not score them like that. It looks like the 4 car is going to come down. So Jeff File I still have in first place. And that's the way they'll line up. Jeff File will take the inside, 929. Thomas Keene will take outside. Sean Butler behind Jeff File is going to be real careful on this restart in the 919 and the 2 car on the outside as well. This should be interesting. We've talked to these guys about making sure you're not, putting yourself in positions that you're not comfortable with being in. So we'll see how Jeff handles this start. Hopefully everything will go pretty clean.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely gonna be exciting here to see these guys can make either quick work at Jeff or Jeff's got something in the bag for these guys. We'll have to take a look as we get ready to go to that green here into turn 3.
Alright, pace car is in. And we have a green flag. They're on the gas. Calvin Allison moves out to the outside. Jeff File's kind of being put in a spot here. He's going to thread the needle as these guys go around both sides.
Good job by everybody being able to maneuver around him there 3 wide. Good job by everybody. It's going to be a good battle here up front for sure.
Thomas Keene was able to get a pretty good jump there. Calvin Allison was able to also use that momentum I would say the momentum the 919 lost to get up to 3rd position from that 6th place restart. Sean Butler's looking on the inside of Calvin Allison. Don't think he's going to be able to make it work this time unless he gets a really good run going into 3 here.
Caution on the speedway. Ooh, big trouble on the front stretch. 921 of Randy McKinney. Several guys I saw turn around on the front stretch there. Like Butch Frazier got a little bit more damage on the left front of that car. And Jonas Hankins was also involved in that, it looks like.
See if we can take a look at where that started. Ron, looking at. Oh, I have no idea what happened there.
Oh, it looked like Jeff Fowle and a couple other guys were. Looks like the 968 were involved. The 81. A lot of guys involved. Coming off of turn 4 or something, they definitely slowed up. 968 looked like he slowed up and caused a chain reaction from there.
Oh yeah, Jeff File got loose and 968 didn't give him any wriggle room there and finished him off. Let's ride on board there with the 968. Yeah, that was just a slow, loose situation there, and Nick didn't get it on the brakes and just finished it around, and a whole bunch of guys got collected in that one.
Yeah, and as you know, as we're looking there at the replay, everybody in the top whatever long way back seems like come down pit road except the 919 of Sean Butler. So all the guys back behind him is going to have fresh tires. We'll have to see how this changes things. Like Goodman stayed out, but other than that, all these guys back behind them we're going to have fresh tires.
Wonder if Ricky is going to start on the outside here, or if he's going to elect to come down.
I wonder if he's drinking some of that Crown Royal on some of these decisions. You know, probably going to come down pit road and top off, get some and 4 tires. I just wouldn't expect that car to stay out, but we'll have to see.
929 of Thomas Keene just disappeared from my screen.
Yeah, he's definitely disappeared at the moment.
And there goes the 4. He is going to come down and put a refill on that Crown Royal.
So that's going to move Buckley up into the second spot with Allison in third. So roles reversed here. Or not. Maybe Allison beat the 2 off pit road. Not really sure. He went to the outside to take that second spot.
Because what is going to happen here is Thomas Keene is actually in second, but since he's blinked out, that's going to move fourth place up to second, right?
Yeah. Yep, you are correct. I'm seeing that. So he's disappeared, and might be a few guys that are happy for that because he's definitely been quick here tonight.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right? Oh, for sure. I don't know if he had connection issues, some car trouble, whatever, but he definitely did just disappear during that caution lap. No warning. And the car didn't veer off, so it's like he just, like it manually disconnected on him. And hopefully he can get it back in, but he is going to be a lap down now, unfortunately. So.
Yeah, that definitely lost connection. It looks like on my screen here, he's definitely out. So we'll see if he can get that car back. Might be a little too late as we're here going back green. Good restart by Calvin Allison. As we'll see if that top side he's been working is going to pay off here off the 2 to try to get that run on Butler. Butler fighting back on the bottom.
We got the 14 so in the wall.
3 or 4 cars also in the outside wall off of 2.
Taking a look at the replay. '14 14 gets loose. Yeah, a little bit of side loose there, and everyone else is just avoiding. Hate to see that for Tim. Tim is hates being put in that position. I'm sure he's already apologized on the team speak. He doesn't. It's one thing if he comes around and loses his own car, but if he takes other guys out, he's going to be upset about that. And Tim's a class act, and hopefully he can get that car in. I don't know if he's got a quick repair, but that might end his night.
Definitely a tough break. Definitely like Tim and everything he stands for, and definitely does a good job here week in and week out. It's going to be a tough break for that team.
Yeah, they are jacking that car up, so there is no quick repair. Looks like there's a lot of engine damage, so that's probably going to call it. $20 cars left on the track right now. We did start with 34, so we've lost 14 drivers to Texas Motor Speedway tonight. 101 laps completed. We still got 65 laps, 66 laps to go. I think you're going to see these guys go green, and then I'm going to go a long stretch here on this next one. Nate LaFleur right now is busted up as well. He's probably going to bring that car in.
Yeah, he got caught up in that as well. It was going to be the lucky dog there. Just got caught up with looked like Jeff Sharp and a couple others, and it looks like Tommy Emesley is going to be in the 901. Is going to be our lucky dog because he'll get one of his 4 laps back.
Let's go ahead and talk about Voice Attack one last time. Again, can't say more good things about this. You really got to experience it to understand. But having a program like Voice Attack on your side as a race car driver or an iRacing driver is definitely going to give you an advantage over somebody using a keyboard. Really, super great tool. You can just key up the mic like you would key up to talk to anybody else, and it's like you're talking to your virtual crew chief. You can make adjustments on the car, set your pit strategy. Whatever you got to do, whatever you program into that into those voice commands, you can have that take care of it for you. And you can even get a voice a talkback program that will actually confirm your commands back to you. And it's like you're talking to your pit crew and your crew chief. And I couldn't live without it. So the winner of this race is going to be given a key tonight. And we're going to be doing 2 more races this year with Voice Attack on board. And again, happy to see them out. Are on board with us, and I appreciate their support. So www.voiceattack.com, you can get your 21-day free limited trial and try it out for yourself.
Yeah, definitely a cool deal for a driver that wins here tonight. That's definitely an awesome program, and definitely any iRacer that wants to take his games to the next level, it's definitely a good add-on for sure.
It's funny. I can see our viewers go up as our drivers go down. These guys logging in to watch the rest of this race. Hate to see it for those guys that were taken out early. David Howard Jr. again. Good to see him watching the race here. He'd be happy to know that Jamie did not pick him this week. I picked him, so it wasn't my fault. Was looking forward to see him get back there, but just couldn't get back from those lap downs. And I'm sure we'll see him be competitive next week at Bristol.
Yeah, no doubt, tough break for that team, and it's definitely a place he likes, and definitely was excited to see what he could do tonight. And just a tough break, get caught up in a couple things that ain't your fault. But we get ready to go green here. Just a short little bit. Lights are off on the pace car. Got the 28 and the 919 on the front row here. These boys been battling all night. Roles reversed here. The 28 had the outside on the last restart. We'll see if this changes up anything and see who gets that lead off of turn 2.
Yeah, loving seeing these guys, start side by side. Arguably a couple of the best drivers on the track there, and always, these guys are going to race hard and clean. So Looking forward to seeing this restart, and top 10 cars right now, man, are in position here to take it tonight.
Good start by the top four, and caution's out again. Like Nate LaFleur was involved in that. I got a heavy damage and smoking down the backstretch here. Tough break for that. That team, he's been fighting all night trying to get his lap back. Got caught up in about everything that's happened tonight. So tough break for that 81 WOW driver, and he'll definitely regroup and head to Bristol next week.
Looks like the 929 might still be having issues. That was a weird one. Let's go ahead and watch that one again. Yeah, that car just watching on the in-car there, that car just turns left on him.
Yeah, that is definitely odd. I don't know if the tire spun. He was already getting up to the gearbox. Not really sure what caused on that, if it was a gearbox failure or not, but definitely turned right into the 81. Gonna be a tough break for Nate. He's been trying to fight and get his way back all night and just salvage whatever he could here tonight, and I think that's pretty much going to end his night.
Yeah, that car just, like the way that turns left, man. It's not a place that you normally get loose like that, even if you spin the tires. And he's instantly turning right, and yeah, that's a weird one.
So, Mike, we talked a little bit in pre-race between ourselves. iRacing making the big announcement this week of bringing dirt track racing to iRacing. Where I'm from, dirt racing's pretty big, man. How do you feel about it? And you excited about the new options it's bringing with not just the dirt late models and Eldora, but the rally racing as well?
Yeah, I any type of racing that you can add to the catalog of available options, I think are going to benefit iRacing in general. Personally, I'm not a big dirt oval racer. I used to do some of the sprint stuff, arcade versions that I thought was fun. The late models could be fun, I'm sure, and getting the trucks on the dirt at Eldora would probably be awesome. But that stuff is kind of not my cup of tea generally. But sliding around those corners, man, turning left and turning right, dude, that's like on the brink of losing control. I think crazy fun to do. I love rally racing though. Rally racing is a lot of fun as well. So, I'm looking forward to it. I think there's a lot of improvements they can make to the current sim, but I would never be upset about them adding more to iRacing.
Yeah, definitely. I know there's a lot of guys out there that are really excited. Excited lights are going to go off on a pace car this time. But I tell you what, it's a lot of guys around my way are definitely excited about it. Sure, a few guys here are. Um, that dirt racing brings a lot to the table. Like you said, there could be a lot of things that iRacing could do on the other end, but definitely an exciting place to be for any sim racer. So definitely excited to see what iRacing in general is going to do, not just with dirt, but with the improvements over the next year, and just see all what they have to offer.
Well, we're 2x2. We're gonna do it again. Same basically replay of what just happened. Hopefully without the weird spinning. These guys are gonna get rolling. Got 19 cars left on the track. I believe 17 cars on the lead lap, maybe 16 cars on the lead lap as we're going back to green.
Good start by the 28. Got a little bit better restart than he did last time. Looks like he'll jump right to the outside and dive it right back down about the middle, the lower groove on that white line as he comes off turn 2. Good restart by these guys. They're going to try to stretch it out, it looks like, over these next 3-4 drivers.
Yeah, it's a long race, man. We're 109 laps in. These guys are, trust me, getting tired. You know, it's a virtual race, but you're still sitting at your wheel. You're still turning left, and it can still be a tiring evening. So these guys are winding down and probably getting tired. They want to get this one over with. So you're going to see these guys getting in line and turn some laps here. Got a car up high in the wall.
I say it's been a good job by the 964 Jason Wells and the 04 Jordan Beck here running 6th and 7th. They've been able to stay out of trouble for the most part tonight, and they're up here battling for the top 5. So good job of both of those drivers here tonight.
15 is looking on the inside of Jordan Beck. Gonna make that a clean pass, keeps it down.
And Pershing's quietly worked his way back from falling back earlier, getting loose and saving that car. So good job by him. He's starting to creep his way back into contention, and definitely got a fast car here tonight and a little ways to go. So don't count out the 15 of John Pershing Jr. for sure.
Back up front, Sean Butler's definitely letting Calvin know he's right there, staying on him pretty well. It's going to be, I think, a little bit tougher to make a pass on Calvin than it is going to be to catch him here.
Yeah, for sure. And, I'm sure Sean's going to try to take any advantage he can. He doesn't want to jeopardize, his car or anything tonight. But I tell you what, it's Calvin's not going to make it easy for him. And the more he has to fight him, closer to that 2, starting to reel both of these guys in.
Yeah, I think he's going to be, real respectful as we get down to it, but within that 10, 5-lap mark, I think you might see him get a little bit closer to that bumper and try and upset that car. And it might send him up the track. He can get underneath him here. We'll see how it goes when we count down.
Yeah, for sure. This lead group, man, this has been about the closest racing up front that we've had tonight. These top 4, all within almost a half second of each other, and they stretch it a little bit over as I-19 makes the move underneath the 28.
Yeah, 28 almost looked like he said, "Here, take it. You want it? Go for it." 2's gonna look down on the 28 there as well.
Yeah, and the 28, he's already in the chase. He's here having fun. I've seen him back off just a little bit tonight, not push things too much. He knows what it takes to win. So, he's definitely playing it. I've seen him play it more conservative tonight than any other night, but definitely still got a fast car here.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely looked like he was running that low line. He showed that he could run that low line pretty quick, and then he just moved up to the high line and let these guys go. Like, he might be trying to conserve his tires. Maybe he thinks we're going to go a long stretch here and he's going to have to need tires, and that might end up coming back to favor him later on.
Yeah, Mike, you bring up a good point. We hadn't had a long green flag run here in a while, but the last one we did, he definitely took advantage of that and stayed out way longer than anybody else, and was still competitive. So maybe he's looking ahead. He's got his engineers on the box down there calculating fuel. Don't know if he can stretch it that far, but definitely something he's looking forward. Looks like he's definitely got that in his mind for sure. close call for the 2 of Josh Buckley off the 2. You talk about how tight the car gets. Definitely about took a chunk out of the concrete there. Good job by him keeping it off the wall.
Let's ride a couple laps on board with Joshua Buckley here. We can see, listen to his throttle control as he enters into 1 right off and does a pretty good job keeping it down. He's back on the throttle halfway through that corner and then full on it. Does a good job keeping it off the wall there. Lots of room to spare.
You know, this Texas track favors so much of Charlotte, other than being so flat off the corner in 2. Pretty much favors a lot of Charlotte, and he's 1.5 miles. So, you know, Josh Buckley's done a great job over the years at the 1.5 miles, and done a really good job here tonight. Hadn't had the luck all year that he's probably been wanting, but definitely got a good chance here to pounce and get a chance for a win and get himself in that chase here tonight. So we'll have to see if he can even get up there and challenge Butler and for this win here tonight.
Step back into 3rd place with Nelson Rivera as he watches these 2 cars ahead of him. He's definitely got Josh right on, like in his sights there, and you can, wow, that exit there is a little bit harder there on Nelson. Got a little bit different line than Josh, but he's able to suck up on him on the back stretch here. Gets a pretty good run.
Yeah, I've really been impressed with Nelson tonight. They got a fast hot rod, and he's definitely showed, and he's been up around the front basically all night. And really good job in that Ford, you know, trying to chase down these 2 Chevrolets.
Definitely 2 defined groups here. We got that lead group of 3, and then the second group's got about 4 cars, and then it's kind of spread out behind them. But, you know, do you think drafting comes into play here with these cars, you know, kind of grouped together like that?
It does. You know, at some tracks you definitely get a lot of that aero push. Here, it plays a little bit of factor, but it also helps that guy if he's riding the tire tracks of that other guy. Especially in my opinion, I can definitely learn from what that guy's doing and what works for him and what works for me. So definitely helps you, you know, hone in on right where you want to be and where your car's comfortable. So it definitely helps when you got that guy to follow.
Calvin,
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead, Dustin.
I was just going to say, these Sean Butler's definitely not been able to really pull away from these 2 this time. But as you were saying, as we go back to Calvin Allison,
yeah, I just think, you know, he's leading that second group right now, watching what's going on ahead of him. I think he's, you know, not necessarily in a bad position here with John Fershing right behind him. Anything could happen as we have 43 laps to go. These guys still have to pit 1 more time, and that's going to shake things up a bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, there's no way these guys can make it to the end, and these guys are, you know, they're pushing it. It seems like we're gonna have that little stretch like we had after lap 11, where we had those 2 quick cautions early and then got back to that long green run. Definitely, these guys are at advantage. The 2 was quick on the long run, as well as the 7 and the 28. So we're going to see if Butler can continue to mark the pace and if these guys can challenge him as the laps wind down. As we look like the 2's looking up underneath him, not going to make the pass that time. As they go down into 3, he looks at the bottom.
Yeah, he definitely is going to make himself known there as Sean does take that high line, but Sean gets a great run off of 4 and is able to get a good jump. You can see how much of a gap he puts on these cars, and the 2 and the 7 just really fall back. And I don't know if the 2 got loose there trying to keep it down, but Calvin is now fighting for third place. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely the 2, good save and good job by the 7 not running over him. got in that corner trying to make that move, and definitely caught the apron and upset that car. But good job by all those guys not running over each other.
Now it's getting kind of hairy. Car's too wide as Calvin's going to look underneath the 7 car with Nelson Rivera.
Hey, what these guys are doing a great job right now. Calvin's got some speed here. Butler's backed off the pace, it seems like, a little bit. Now we've got a 6-car battle here for the lead. It's going to get exciting here as we get ready for either these green flag pit stops that will be coming up shortly, or seeing if these guys can stretch it.
Yeah, I actually think there's a bit of a light switch, man. When these tires fall off, I think they fall off quick, and you'll see the guys, like, we were talking about it early in the run. Calvin Allison, didn't push the issue, didn't try and run quick, and dropped back a bit. And now it looks like when he wants to turn it on, man, he's just, he's ready to go.
Yeah, it's definitely a light switch. This car, as he looks at the bottom through 3 and 4, and he'll definitely make that slide job work off of 4, and definitely he'll lead this lap for sure, as they've definitely stretched it over the 2 and the 7 here.
You can definitely see those top 2 cars have gapped 3, 4, 5, and 6. They're racing pretty hard. John looks like he's got his handful trying to lead that second group.
Yeah, for the last 3 laps, these guys have been side by side. Good battle between the 2 and the 15 and the 7 and 9, 6, 4. Man, they're right there together. So good job, all these guys being able to. Looks like the 2's going to lose a couple spots here off of turn 2. Cars really starting to get tight. So we'll see who can outlast one another as the 28's really starting to put on a show.
Now, what point are you going to come down? I'm pretty sure these guys can't go to the end on gas, but we're definitely within that finish window now. So, what point do you think a fresh set of tires is going to help you? When do you come in and try and short pit, maybe use those faster lap times to leapfrog a car before they end up coming down?
Well, I can about guarantee you the 28 is going to stay out about as long as he can. With the times and laps he's putting down right now, he's still 2/10. He was again almost 2/10 faster than second place that time as well. So it's definitely going to be one that he's going to continue to stretch this lead. I don't know what them boys has figured out over at Hooligan, but the long green flag laps have definitely been an advantage for them. As he hits the apron, about loses it off of turn 4 there. That was a close call, but looks like some of these guys are going to start coming down pit road, Mike.
Yeah, Sean Butler is in, and I think this is really to that strategy that I just mentioned. I think, if you don't think you got anything for him now, I think you come down and get tires. If you can get back on the track, he was only behind him by a second. If he can get back on the track and turn laps that are a second and a half faster, after 3 laps, he's 6 seconds ahead of where he was, and Calvin comes down and gets tires, and then all of a sudden you might be ahead of him. So I think it really forces the issue. I think Calvin's going to have to come down here.
Yeah, you're right, because I think everybody's going to eventually come down, because a lot of these guys, Mike Abbott might be one that stays out. He stayed out a good long run earlier, so we'll have to see if that works. But some of these guys cycling through already are going to start catching these guys with making slower lap times. But I tell you what, Mike, the lap times right now that Calvin Allison's turning,
yeah, he's not slow by any means. So
he's definitely rolling. So we'll have to see to that advantage, if he can, take advantage of that or not.
Let's just monitor these next couple laps here. Calvin ran a 30.1. Sean Butler ran, he's on his pit lap yet, so he hasn't gotten up to speed here. But it'll be interesting to compare these times once they get up to speed.
For sure, and I don't know if, Nelson Rivera only took 2 tires there on that pit stop. That's an interesting call. See how that helps him. Butler was a little bit slower on his stop, so than a lot of the other guys. So we'll definitely see if that hurts him. But like I said, Butler's been fast all night, so he can definitely take advantage on the track.
All right, so here's to my point, right? So Calvin just is going to cross the finish line this lap. He's going to cross it. He's going to do a 30.1. So let's take a look at Sean Butler, who crosses the finish line right there. He runs a 29.02, so a full second faster than Sean here. And if you remember before they pit, Sean's was only a second behind Calvin. So once Calvin comes in now and comes back out, even if he has a perfect stop at 4 tires, Sean's going to be in front of him here. We'll see how this goes as we've got 29 laps to go. The only thing that could work in Calvin's favor is if a caution comes out, it traps those guys a lap down, or if he waits long enough to that these guys' tires fall off to the point where they just can't keep it on the track, and Calvin is able to get those fresh tires and really, use that lap time to close back up on them. But it's going to be interesting once Calvin comes in and pits. Right now, Sean's kind of put in a spot here. He's got the 82 and Butch Frazier just kind of getting his way here.
Yeah, that was not really a smart move on some of these lap cars there. You got faster cars and the caution comes out. So we'll see how this works. Definitely sure Calvin's going to come down pit road. Mike Abbott also stayed out, as well as John Fershing and Raymond Edge, a couple of these other guys. So let's see how this thing rolls around, whether these guys come back down pit road or not and take the wave around, these guys that are lap down. So,
did you see what brought out that caution?
I did not.
Yeah, I don't see any cars that I can find damaged or smoking.
So, Mike, here's the interesting call. You're lap down because of the situation. Some of these faster guys, 964 the 86, the 2, the 919, the 7. You guys are fast cars. You're lap down because of the situation. Do you stay out, try to get the wave around? Because you got to think that these guys are coming down pit road. The leaders are.
Yeah, and, the leaders are coming down. Sean Butler on back. Those guys, pit. They're good to go to the finish. They might want tires, but you got to get the wave around at this point. You are going to start, behind these guys with fresh tires, which is unfortunate, but you don't really have a choice.
Yeah, and he's actually getting a lucky dog, so this is going to work out good for him. He'll get the lucky dog. He'll be the last car on the lead lap. He's going to come down and get 4 fresh ones, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or I would at least, and we'll see how this goes to the end. Definitely going to be interesting.
Calvin's looks like he's gonna win the race off pit road. He's gonna start in first place. Mike Abbott just beats out John Fershing Jr. real close there.
Yeah, and another big shout out to Raymond Edge. We talked earlier. This long green flag run. There's been these same 3, 4 cars, 5 cars that have played the strategy to the T and been able to put themselves in position. With only 8 cars now on the lead lap. We'll see. Looks like we're going to have a couple guys get the wave around in James Skeleton and Buckley, as well as Jason Wells and possibly Kevin O'Brien. So we'll see. There'll be a couple guys that get the wave around, and we'll have a couple more cars on the lead lap. But these guys have definitely played a good strategy here tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see how this race finishes out as we see Butler come down pit road. I think it's definitely going to be fun to see. It's been a good night here for the 72 of Raymond Edge, and here in the closing laps, it's going to be interesting to see if that team can finish this one out. Man, I'd really like to see him finish up front tonight. All the hard work he puts in, I definitely like to see him have a good night for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think right now it's still anyone's race. Top 6, 7 guys. I think they're all pretty quick. I think it's going to be interesting to see what Joshua Buckley and Sean Butler do. James Skelton as well in that 8th position. I think Sean's going to be someone to watch here on 4 fresh tires. With that last pit stop, I think he's going to be moving pretty quick with 23 laps to go right now.
Yeah, I'm the little things that happen. I don't know if you caught this, but Nelson Rivera just did get by the 28, the leader, right before that caution came out. So that helped Sean Butler get that lucky dog. Otherwise, it would have just been Nelson getting it. So I bet you, if he don't know it now, he's going to thank Nelson if he can finish out this race. That definitely helped him go down and get some 4 fresh tires. So definitely sitting in the catbird seat. Lights off on the pace car, Mike. This is going to get exciting here. Last 20 so laps. We're going to see who wants it more.
It's definitely going to come down to who can get their car into turn 1 first here. Sean moves out on the outside, but the door was closed on him. He was smart by backing it off, but he was looking to make some positions there.
Yeah, definitely Mike Abbott. Good restart. Gets to the bottom. That car's got 4 fresh tires, and he's been pretty quick all night, so clean air is definitely going to help him if he can keep it out front as these guys are battling back behind him.
Yeah, 72 gets maybe a little bit loose on the outside there. Does fall back. Right now, Sean Butler is looking to get by these cars that are too wide in front of him. I do know Calvin has said in the past that if he ever had a team weight, in place for a win, especially since he's got 3, he would definitely let them have it. And I think Mike Abbott right now is trying to get his head as far away as he can right now with these guys, because that 919 is quick if he can get around these cars in front of him.
Yeah, for sure, as he looks under Calvin now. Calvin's running that high line. He's about the only one really making it really work really good. So it's going to be interesting to see. We get down to the closing laps. We saw him earlier just turn on the switch and go. So, if him and Butler can make their way to the front, it's going to be a pretty exciting finish for sure.
Oh, and there we go. Ooh, I almost disconnected from the server there, but we are all good.
Looks like Calvin's going to make a look going into 3 underneath the 7. The door closes right on him. This is a tight battle for the lead here with these top 5 cars. Mike Abbott doing a great job up front as he's getting pressure from the 15. That car's been quick all night.
Yeah, 15 is definitely, looking to get a nose under there. Calvin looks like he gets on the inside of the 7 car.
I'm not really sure if these tires are going to fall off as much as we saw earlier on that long run, as it looks like Butler slides up a little bit. Looks like Beck might look to the bottom on the front stretch. Either, I don't know if Butler's fading or just had a little trouble there, but definitely didn't get up to speed now that we're here at the end of this run as fast as we maybe thought he would have.
Did Sean come down? I didn't notice. Did he, after getting a lucky dog, did he come and get tires?
He came and got 4 fresh ones, so he's definitely on the same page as the other guys. So it'll be exciting. I tell you what, Jordan Beck really doing a great job here tonight as he's sitting there in the 6th spot, ready to pounce on any one of these guys that make a mistake.
John Fershing Jr. is able to get by Mike Abbott for first place with 16 laps to go.
And if he can stay right there, that's that place he wanted to be, place anybody would like to be. But he's definitely looking for that first win. Jamie Christian picked him tonight, so that would be an awesome job by John to be up front and handle the car the way he has with some of the trouble he's had tonight. He's done a great job.
He's definitely real smooth right now and is able to pull away from that second place car by about a third of a second there. He's got the momentum as Sean is looking under the 7 car right now of Nelson Rivera for 4th place.
Yeah, really impressed. It's the way the season's going so far. Anybody other than Calvin and Sean winning be a big change for things. So these 2 cars running out front are going to try to do everything they can to keep those guys back there.
Yeah, we still got 14 laps to go though, and the way that tires, kind of fall off like a light switch. I still think it's anybody in the top 6 places race right here.
Yeah, for sure. And as we looked earlier, way Abbott's been tonight and Allison on them longer runs, these guys have really put it on. So we'll see how they can end this. Right now that clean air is looking good for the 15.
Yeah, the 919 right now is going to be looking on the 28. I don't think we're going to see the 28 just move up to the outside like he did earlier in the race with 13 laps to go. I think he's going to fight for that position. But looks like he's going to probably have to get around Mike Abbott.
And the 82, he's not going to give it up easy. He'll fight hard, and he'll make you work for it or drive through him one. So it's going to be exciting to see how these guys, if there is any give and take or not.
He's definitely going to have to look on the inside of Mike if he wants to keep Sean behind him. I think, those guys, I believe, are teammates. Maybe not. Oh, they're...
Definitely getting dicey here. I think, not really sure if the 82 is holding anybody up, but these guys are definitely back behind them, getting pretty good runs and having to back off from running over each other. So we'll see if how long this lasts. We're down with 9 laps to go.
Yeah, I misspoke there. They are not teammates. Calvin Allison is part of Hooligan Racing, and Mike Abbott is not. So looking on the inside now, looks like he's going to get that run. Got the nose in, makes it stick. He's going to get by. Will Sean be able to follow him through? Mike closes that door. Looks at the crossover move. Gets real close onto the bumper there. Looks like he's going to try and make it stick into turn 1. Does. Able to take that position back.
He really drove it in there deep. Got a little, that front end got a little light there as the 28 gets a run underneath the bottom. But good job by Abbott fighting back on that crossover.
Nine laps to go right now. I can tell you, John likes seeing this in his mirror. He wants these guys fighting for as much as they can. But they're not.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not falling back. He's not pulling away from them, even with them fighting as hard as they are.
And I tell you what, I've seen these guys. The harder they fight, the more they can reel in that leader, even though he's out in clean air, and they're running quick laps. So we'll have to see. Everybody's running pretty tight there together. Calvin was a little bit slower that last lap, but I tell you what, this is going to be 7 coming to 6 laps to go. I tell you what, it's going to be really exciting here at the end.
Oh, Mike's in the wall.
Ooh, as he gets into the 919, no trouble. Definitely stacked him up there. John Fershing, like you said, is loving it. But I tell you what, it's almost like the 28's hit a light switch. He's reeling in that 15. So we'll see how this race ends up as these guys are starting to close in on that leader.
82 in the wall again. I'm telling you, those tires, if the car has tightened up. 6 laps to go. Right now, John's doing everything he can to keep these guys behind him. They've closed the gap now. John's running that defensive inside line. Calvin's going to look inside here. No. We do have a lap car coming. He's gotten way down on the shoulder, getting out of the way of the leaders. Real respectful there. Calvin goes down low, but John's going to use that midline and get a pretty good runoff, but Calvin's still going to hold that inside. Oh yeah, he's going to make this pass right here coming across the start finish.
Yeah, his Fershing got into the wall right off of 4. Just really up on the wheel that time. John's not done, though. I think he's going to try to do everything he can to get back to the bumper. But it's going to be a good battle here at the end as we got 3 to go down the backstretch. Calvin ever so slightly stretching his lead off of 4 as Sean almost into the turn 2 wall. Close call there, but able to gather it up. Hey, these boys are definitely up on the wheel, and the worse these tires get, Mike, tonight, I swear that 28 has been able to just, like you said, almost flip that light switch and just go. Yeah, do whatever he wants to with that car.
I think you're absolutely right. I think he's just got this track down on the long run, and as soon as those tires, fall off for anybody else, I think he's able to manage his tires enough to where, when he's ready to go, he can go. Everybody else falls off. It's not like he's, faster, but everybody else is slower. And yeah, with 2 to go, man, he's definitely just pulling away from Sean.
Yeah, he's over a half second now with white flags out, and it's going to be the final lap for Calvin Allison. He's going to get a little, hopefully if he can make it through turn 2, 3, and 4, he's going to pick up his 4th win on the season. And tell you what, he's done a great job here tonight, fighting back. Started 28th, and going to come off turn 4, and he's going to be your winner tonight here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, great battling on the last 25-30 laps. Good to see Calvin Allison once again up front. 2nd place, Sean Butler. 3rd place, Nelson Rivera. 4th place, John Fershing Jr. Rounding out the top 5, Mike Abbott. Long race tonight, lots of cautions, but some great green flag runs and some green flag racing. Good to see that this race was able to come to a nice green flag finish as Calvin is going to slow that car down and burn it up.
Yeah, great job again by the 82 and the 72 of Mike Abbott and Raymond Edge. Jordan Beck in there too. Guys that's had some trouble this year so far. It's good to see them have some real good runs and did some great job managing tires tonight. Tell you what, it's good to see these guys have some good luck go their way.
Let's go ahead and bring down our race winner. 28 of Calvin Allison takes his 4th win here at the NAVSCAR Pro Series. Man, it looked like your car was great after 20 or so laps on those tires. It looks like you just flipped a switch and you're able to just pull away. Tell us about your race, man.
I mean, it feels good to come in here and just ride around with no quick repair. I'm not sure why. I always check it off before the race starts in case something happens like minute. And we were on the pace laps and I looked and I was like, no quick repair. So it might be a glitch in our racing. Didn't need it. Didn't touch a single thing all night. Showed these boys how to save tires. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I definitely want to comment on that tonight. Awesome job, man. We were talking about the 2 long green flag runs you had tonight. You were definitely the class of the field, and I told them if even with this short run we had late, that you were going to be able to dominate and just turn. It was like a light switch. You could turn it on and just run these guys down from any position you were at. So great job tonight, and definitely Definitely it's fun watching from up here in the booth, watching you do what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Dustin. Yeah, I mean, it really helps. These guys, I can't emphasize it enough. If you run official races, you learn how to save tires. I don't know if these boys just like league racing because they're worried about losing I rating and safety rating, but if you get in there, you can learn a lot instead of just jumping on here and running hot laps during practice and qualifying.
Yeah, I was, where you were saving tires. It was easy to see that you would move up to the high line in that beginning of a run and, let these guys run down on the inside and burn up their tires. And, 10, 15 laps later, you're just, okay, I'll come back now.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I could tell people were probably driving it in mid-corner and then just hammering the brakes, and you can't do that because it just chatters the front. And, I mean, yeah, you're fast for 10 laps, but what happens when you do get a green flag run like we did? And, I mean, I trapped people laps down both green flag runs that we had tonight, so it took a lot of people out of the equation race-wise.
Well, another win. Next week we'll go into Bristol. What do you think about that?
I think I'll be taking that race off, guys. I'll be at work that night, so I won't get to have fun there.
I'm sure a lot of guys will look forward to having you not on the track, so maybe they can pick up a win. So congratulations once again, and we'll see you, I guess, in a couple weeks.
All right, thanks, guys. And I just want to give a shout-out to Mike, Raymond, Jordan, and John. We had a great plan going, and it kind of fell through. I was really hoping John or Mike could get the win so we get them in chase, but I mean, the lights will keep plugging away, and this race was for my man Merle Haggard. He passed away today, and it sucks, but he's in a better place now.
Awesome, man. Well, take care. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, let's bring our second place finisher, Sean Butler, down. Sean, some great racing all around. Some really entertaining stuff there as we close down the laps. Looked like you had some, you were making. I was saying someone's got a short pit, get some new tires, and you just start putting some seconds between them and the leader, because Calvin didn't look like he was going to come down, and you just kind of got caught down with that caution. I think that was the worst thing that could have happened for you. But I think your strategy would have paid off if caution didn't come out.
Yeah. Mountain Dew Nationwide Chevy ran awesome tonight, and I was trying to play a little bit of strategy there. That's why I kept staying out there around lap 90 something when we all came in, and then we kept having cautions, and that's why I stayed out. I was like, I'm going to try something a little different, and because I knew Calvin was staying out longer, and so I just kind of drove a little harder in the beginning just to try to get away from some guys, and then Calvin was able to get by me there late, and then I hit pit road, and I was just out there babying my tires because I knew I was going to catch them all, and they were all staying out. And just cautions are frustrating. I can't believe we had so many cautions again here at Texas. It's just kind of frustrating when you're trying to do pit strategy and trying to make something different, and it just keeps biting you like every race.
Yeah, 90% of the cautions tonight were just guys losing it on the corners. So what do you suggest to those guys? Like, what do you tell these guys to, convince them that it's really just about the seat time and getting these cars underneath them and really getting experience on the track? What's your suggestion for them?
Oh yeah, it's totally what it is. Like this track this week, the way I used to drive this track on entry, I couldn't drive it. I mean, it took me 10 laps just to make a lap when I was doing practice earlier this last week, actually, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I had to change my line up a little bit and figure that out, and then I could try going fast. But it was just crazy. But it didn't help that I was practicing on afternoon, not late afternoon. But yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is, man. You just gotta show up to these, especially like on Tuesday nights. Show up on practice nights. If you can't show up on Tuesday night, you can go ahead and open up your own test session and drop your fuel down to 13.6. It's close enough, and go out there and run some laps, and you'll just learn the track and learn how loose it is or how tight it is. And it's just it's kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. I probably could have pushed the envelope there at the end, but once we got past John, I was like, me and Calvin were running pretty much the same exact lines, and as you saw, it was so hard to pass once you got 10, 15 laps on your tires, it's just too tight, and I just backed off Calvin. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try because I'll probably end up wrecking both of us.
Yeah, great job, Sean. You were my pick tonight, man, and definitely had a dominant car all night. Situation, like you were talking about, kind of broke it down, but you did a great job fighting back, and I'm just proud of what you do for this league as far as representing drivers and the skill level you have, and it's just fun watching you each and every week. We go back to Bristol next week, and I know you're pretty much good everywhere you go, but what's your thoughts getting into next week?
Well, I hope a lot of these guys do some practice, but Bristol, man, it's a fun track, and I love me some Bristol, but it's another track. It's incredibly hard to pass. You just got to be patient and hope you're putting pressure on the guy in front of you and make him make a mistake because he's looking up in the mirror at you or something. But it's a fun track. You're going to see lots of different strategies, staying out, pitting. It's going to be back and forth like Martinsville was last week. It's going to be pretty crazy. But hopefully guys can get some seat time and learn how to get around there. I haven't been there in a while, especially in this car, so I'm going to be practicing this week, and just hope we can come out there with another top 5. Hopefully my teammates over here at IFM can stop having some problems with their computers and all that stuff. So we're too good to keep finishing in the back like that. So hopefully we'll get that settled out here and have a good rest of our season here.
Well, awesome, man. I appreciate the advice going out to the drivers, and I think you spoke on it again for next week. Getting down, I think it's really about patience next week. These guys got to learn how to run in line, and obviously you're not going to run. You're not out there by yourself. You're not going to enter the corner as you would by yourself. So figuring out how you can run a line with cars in front of you, behind you, beside you, and being patient until there's opportunity to make a pass. So that's what it's going to be about, and hopefully these guys can take that to heart.
Oh yeah, I mean, if these guys have any question, if they, when we're in practices and stuff, you guys reach out and ask me. I change. I play around with my steering ratios and offsets, trying to get the best handling feel that I can get out of the car. And everyone's a little different, but you just got to play around with that stuff that you can play with in these fixed setups. And sometimes that stuff helps. And just learning braking points or let off points and stuff that people are doing, that helps too, because a lot of people can overdrive the car or underdrive the car, especially at Bristol.
Well, congratulations on again a second place finish. You are already locked into the chase, so it's all about wins for you. And we look forward to seeing your run next week.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the broadcast.
All right, let's bring in our third place finisher, Nelson Rivera. There he is. Nelson, third place, man. It was some great racing there at the end. A couple good green flag runs. A lot of people are struggling with tight cars, but hey, man, you pulled out a third place finish. Tell us about your race.
It was a good result. It was hard to get into a flow, hard to get into a pace. With, I believe it was 12 cautions. So I was lucky to finish where I did, because at one point I got caught a lap down. So yeah, it turned out to be a good night. A little bit of frustration because of the way the race played out, but you got to be happy with third place. So I'll take it.
Yeah, Nelson, I spoke about you a lot on the broadcast. Definitely did a great job battling those guys. Stayed up front pretty much all night, and did a good job from where we were sitting. Definitely the strategy way it played out at the end of the race was tough for you guys, you and Sean and a couple of you other guys that were put a lap down there. But luckily, got able to come down and get you some tires, and it just did play into your favor there at the end. But good top 3. We head into Bristol next week. What's your thoughts, and how do you feel about your chances picking up that win for WOW Racing that you guys have so looked forward to getting?
Yeah. My initial thought is, do we have to go to Bristol?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm joking, of course, but hopefully. Hey, you never know. you figure Texas, I know it's a fast track, but you wouldn't really expect 12 cautions at a track like Texas. And then when you look ahead at a track like Bristol, you would expect a lot of cautions, but maybe we won't get it. I'm trying to be optimistic. So hopefully, we learn moving forward.
Yeah, that's what really all it's about. That's been the theme on these, these interviews. Really, it's the guys that do the learning, finish top 5. So get that seat time. Guys got to, learn how the car feels. You're right. We wouldn't expect the amount of cautions that we got here tonight, but it was a challenging car, and a lot of cars were getting loose, and that's really what caused all these cautions. Just cars getting loose. So, guys got to take that home into next week.
Yeah, speaking of learning, I gotta give a shout out to Mike Abbott. He's been running closer to the front every single week, and it doesn't go unnoticed for sure.
Oh yeah, Mike's a wheel man. He's got a lot of experience in the car here. We haven't seen him much this season, but in the past he's been one to contend with. I'm sure he'll get himself a race win here by the end of it.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door for sure.
Well, thanks again, Nelson, man. We'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Another one's in the book. It was a long race, but it was a fun race. And again, I want to thank Voice Attack for coming on board. Kelvin Allison, I believe, has a Voice Attack key, so we'll see what he wants to do with it. But another one's in the books, Dustin.
Yeah, definitely a great race. Good job, all these guys. Probably a little more caution than we wanted, but I tell you what, overall, these guys did a great job. Strategy. And just overall being respectful to each other. I saw a lot of guys give and take, a lot more than what we've seen in the past. So that was great to see. And just looking forward to, not going to be here next week, but looking forward to Bristol and what that brings. And be glad to have Jamie back next week in the booth to hear you and him go at it. And it's just exciting to hear everything that we have going on with NAVSCAR and us moving forward. Just great job by everybody.
Awesome. Well, another one's in the books. Thanks for watching, guys. And for Dustin Phillips, Jamie Christensen, I'm Mike Fair. We'll see you next week.